lattices. Now lattices are technically an animation thing, but what I wanted to do is show you the usefulness of a lattice. And what I did, I brought in one of my characters that I produced a little while back, just to kind of show you an example. So this character is not on DVD or disc or online or anything like that. It's just me showing you the usefulness of the lattice tool. So let's say, for instance, this bottom jaw area. It works, but maybe it could be a little bit more menacing. What I can do here, instead of now trying to fix this, which would be impossible, I would have to move all the faces or all the vertices and all that stuff all in conjunction with each other just to move it down. Well, under animation, I have create lattice square box. And I always go into the square box because I can add or subtract division marks here. So I usually use 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4, and leave everything else alone. Hit apply. Okay, so now I have a lattice that controls this, and what I can do is I can look for the angle of selection, which is the ability to highlight the lattice points. So lattice points. So I got those, and now what I could do is I can start bringing that down. And you see that bottom jaw is now just so huge. Now let's say I need to manipulate it so it doesn't look squished. Well, I can grab those lattice points. Now go like that. And what's nice about this method is everything can have a lattice that you're tweaking out. Let's say these two objects right here. For this, I kind of want to combine them because I want them to work uniformly with each other. And then I can apply a lattice. Now this is a separate lattice, and I can have as many lattices as I want. It gets really confusing after a few of them though. You can, but I would highly suggest that you rely on a couple lattices at a time until you get the model tweaked out. So maybe I want this to touch the neck more. I can have that. Maybe I want it to come in a different arc. Maybe I want it to all arc forward. I could do that. Now, when I want to keep geometry that I've tweaked, I don't really keep the lattices around. Rather than that, what I do is I duplicate using Command D and pull off a variation. And then I can delete the lattices, and it sends it back to normal. Allowing to have a variation of the helmet. Okay, so this is what it looked like before and then after. Alright, so that is the power of the lattice in the fact that you can manipulate large chunks of geometry and still keep everything uniform next to each other if you have a multi-part mesh. Alright, and yeah, there's the lattice right here. So these things look a little odd. Maybe I want to tweak them out a little bit after the fact. I can make them longer or shorter. At some part of the actual workflow, what I'll do is put a lot of primitives out there and start manipulating the primitives around and get them to kind of join together in a way. And then later on I'll probably solid chunk the model out using ZBrush. But you have to have those initial forms in place before you can do that, because if you use the topology tools within ZBrush, it has to have something to trace on. So that's why I use a multi-layered mesh like this and then re-topologize it later on. Alright, so that's the lattice tool. Enjoy. Please move on to the next video.